We're just here at the Rainbow Retreat Lodge, and we're with Dr. Paul Vrenon. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And Deb Castillo. Mm-hmm. And we just thought we'd take maybe 7-8 minutes just to talk to you about kind of your experience and working with us, but also kind of like your background and where you've came from and just kind of your journey and just kind of your path you've been on with your practice and where you're at now and then where you see yourself going. So, part of this, I guess for us, selfishly is, Deb and I, we've been blessed to kind of work with many of the COIS doctors, and there's many that we haven't, but it's just more of because your work is different and you're trying to implement more of a wellness, health-centered model with your patients. And I know you've been trying to do that for a long time and worked with different consultants and brought different people in to help. And you're a continuous student and a seeker and always trying to improve. So I guess from your background and, I've known you for a while, and what do you, I guess the first question would be like, just tell your story a little bit, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
How far would you like me to go back? Dentistry? After I got out of dental school, I did a GPR in Cleveland, and I found out I didn't really know much, and that the GPR kind of opened up my eyes, and there was a big world out there of dentistry. And so I was just on a journey of CE. I was basically a CE junkie. I would take CE every month, and every time I learned something, I just wanted to learn more and more. I took Dawson, I took Strupp, I took Pac Live. I was always constantly going somewhere. I took UCLA Aesthetic Continuum, and then I saw John Coy's at Loma Linda one time, and I knew that was the kind of education that I wanted, because he basically encompassed everything in all 9 courses, where it was treatment planning, biomechanics, and occlusion, aesthetics. He really taught me how to see people in a different way. And so I learned the dentistry, but then I didn't have the leadership and practice management skills to actually apply that. And that's where you guys kind of stepped in, because I was always constantly playing the insurance game. I just was dealing with insurance is what they wanted to do. And I mean, you've been with me for 7 years, and you pursued me and never gave up on me. And you guys opened my eyes to my team and how to do things. I thought I was doing good case presentations until I came to the retreat a couple of years ago, and I found out I was subpar. I mean, you guys tried to push me to be better and better every day. I didn't want to record myself originally. I was nervous, and now I record. We take a lot of photographs, and so that's kind of where we are right now. We're slowly weaning off the insurances. Someday I would like to be insurance-free, even accepting assignments from benefits, because if other people are doing it, why can't I do it? Mm-hmm. So that's the short version so far.
Yeah, and you're in Las Vegas, so that area is really, when people look at practicing dentistry, I mean, that area took a hit pretty big in 2008, 2009, 10, just recovering from everything that's happened in the economy. And you've really been able to kind of sustain it. And I guess from Deb coming into the practice, working with your team and the systems, I mean, what was the biggest difference? Because most of the doctors we've worked with, as we only work with 10 or 12 a year, but every one of them have used different types of management groups, which I think is good. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've brought in different people to help coach, but I guess a lot of people are like skeptical, or they say, well, what's the difference? And I guess from your perspective, what do you feel like is the biggest difference in the work that you've done with us, with Deb mainly, as far as the models and the philosophy? And I mean,
I could say a couple things. The first thing, you guys are like family. You care about us, and you're there, and you call, and you want to truly help us, and you don't have the entrepreneurial agenda. It's just like, come and you're done. Even if you've done with your work, you guys are still calling us and helping us and whatever we need. I mean, that's thing. It's more like family, and it's like that you care about us, and I don't think some of the other companies that are as big or do it, because it's just you guys. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I see it.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you feel? I know the financial numbers, as far as the growth of your practice, but what besides the financial? I mean, the investment of time and money. I mean, was it worth it to you? Would you do it again? What is it?
Oh, of course. I was running around with a chicken with my head cut off, man. I was seeing way too many patients, and I'm really trying to slow down more and more, just to spend more time with the patients on the comp exams. The financial rewards are incredible, because now when I present case treatments that are large, over $20,000, I'm not nervous, and I get a lot more acceptance. I have brothers paying for their brothers that pay $20,000, so it's a nice thing to do that kind of dentistry than to just drill and fill and bill.
Yeah, and, I remember when I did your analysis. I mean, finally, but it's hard for people to make that commitment. I mean, to work with someone for a year, and you have to get the financing and so forth, and it's not easy for a lot of people. And I think, I mean, what would you say to other people that? I guess two questions as far as taking the leap, and also what do you see like the hope for dentists in the future? I mean, what do you see for when you talk to other dentists?
Well, I just think dentistry is going to come to a big crossroads. There's going to be a big corporate model, and there's going to be private care, and you're going to have to decide which way you're going to go, because you can't be in the middle. You're either going to be a corporate dentist and be that way, or you're going to be a private care dentist and do phenomenal care and really treat people. And if you're going to do private care, I don't see how you can't do you. You have to find a way. The numbers just make sense. You have to spend the money with you guys to get that there.
Yeah. And how important is the development of the team on the business, the entrepreneurial, the philosophy of care? How critical has that been?
That's very critical. And sometimes, unfortunately, you may not have the team members when you go through practice management companies like you guys or ones in the past. You don't have the right team members, but then you know it, and that's a void that you have to fill. Yeah. And I'm still working on that, because I didn't have some of the key members there to implement stuff, and now I'm getting some, and it'll come around.
Yeah. But it's always been my great privilege, as I said, to be able to work with people like you, Paul, and that really have that desire to see something happen in your practice, but also happen for your patients, and care about your team, because you really do care about your team.
And they're like family, like you guys. I mean, you guys are family, so
yeah.
I care about my team. But
and how long has Troy been with you?
16 years.
Oh, I thought it was birth. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, we're together at birth, but in the dental field, yes. So.
Yeah, long relationships with some key team members. And what has, when you've had a long relationship with a team member, you have to take them down the path too, because they have to give up things that they felt were somewhat successful. And now someone comes in and says, no, well, that has been successful, but we're going to be making some moves and some changes. And I think, as you said, your leadership really grew in telling Troy and other people that were around you that this is valid. We're going to go for it.
Yeah, at heart, people don't like change, to buy into the philosophy, but change is good.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And since he liked quotes, it was Patton that said, "Lead me, follow me, or get the hell out of my way." So, because change is coming, it's going to happen, whether you want to or not. So,
yeah.
And leaders, a leader. There's a lot of books about leadership, as you know, but I think one of the lines I like the best is, a leader takes people where they wouldn't go on their own. And that's part of that, and nobody does it on their own. I mean, I think a lot of doctors are, try to do it on their own, like, almost like if they have to ask for help, that's
very hard.
Instead of saying, embracing that and saying, what, I'm good at a couple things, but I need support. I remember Dr. John Coy's once, I was at a seminar of his, and he said, hey, if you don't know how to do something, if you suck at something, he said, just hire it out. Just don't take it personally. We're not, bring other people that are more gifted and tap into that. And if you develop your people and you take the time to really develop, even if they do leave, you will gain a lot. I mean, you will gain more personally and professionally, and they will. And that's how you grow, and it's just, you're never there, the growth part. And that's the challenge and the opportunity, sometimes the frustration, because we're hard on ourselves many times, but that's the beauty of continuing to pursue that. What is there any questions you have for Paul?
No, I think, as I said, I think there were some a little bit of pushback with some people feeling like, oh, this financial stuff, we've kind of got that all figured out, and we don't really need someone who's managing that, and I can't see how we can ever lower our overhead. How can we ever lower our, that it is what it is, we have to accept it. And that's when the leadership comes in, because as a leader, you're hearing that and thinking, yeah, I kind of hear that too, but I have to trust that they've done it before. And
our financial arrangements were weak, and I love the financial arrangements now because we've even taken it to another level. So,
Yeah, great.
yeah. And the fact that financial arrangements are a practice builder. They're not, if we do them correctly, they're a marketing event within the practice. And I don't think people see that, but that's definitely happened in your practice now. And that's kind of exciting too.
That just reminded me, I read a little quote from our little blog from Seth Godin, who wrote a lot of books. And he said, keep building big dreams, but keep your overhead low. And it's good to keep building the dreams, have the dreams that keeps you going, have the vision, the hope that we talked about here yesterday a little bit, but know how to keep that overhead low and have the team understand that so they can share in the profitability. They can be co-owners with you. And so that's a good thing. So anything else you want to say, or any closing thoughts, or just...
No, you guys are great.
I know it's early.
No, you guys are great. The best thing about you guys is you're persistent. You don't give up, and you let people develop, and when they're ready, they're going to come to you and see that. And so that's the thing, and not giving up on somebody. So I appreciate that about both of you guys. So
well, you didn't give up on us either, and we appreciate that too.
And now I got a place to stay in Vegas now.
And my practice is really going to change a lot in the next year, thanks to you guys. I just getting some key members and some other stuff. So
that'll be fun to watch.
You'll
That'll
see
be
it.
fun to watch.
I got one key member. I'm trying to get one more, and then we're going to be very, very good. So.
Well, thanks for...
You already are, by the way.
Thanks to you guys.
No.
Thanks for taking the journey with us. Keep going.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
I need to say any more closing thoughts?
Thank you very much.
All right.